Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Leavecast. We're here back again after I don't know, what we call the hiatus brief.
I think it's been, 5 months or so?
Feels like
Maybe
5 years.
longer?
So probably, yeah, really brief. Like, it's like we were barely gone. You guys probably didn't even notice with how quickly we came back, bouncing back like a newborn baby.
But I'm glad to be back.
Yeah, I'm glad to be back too. We're talking about video games. We want to hear from you, the people, about what games you've been playing too, because that's what we're just here to talk about today. Just an easy, chill session about what we've been playing lately. Cable, what have you been playing lately?
Yeah, hi. So I believe we have not talked, on the podcast since I got my Steam Deck back in October. So that's a segue of me into I got a Steam Deck back in October, and I fucking love it.
Yeah, all of my friends who have gotten one love it a lot.
Yeah, no, it is so nice. I have played so much on it, between trying out different games that I've been like, hey, I wonder if I can play this on the Steam Deck now. So there have definitely been a lot of games that I've started, gotten an hour or two into, and then just kind of left and be like, hey, I can play this now. Cool. But there have been quite a few games that I have actually played on my Steam Deck. The first series that I got into on the Steam Deck is my new favorite JRPG series. It is the Trails of series.
Yes.
Oh, do you know Trails?
The story, man, it just killed me.
Yeah, no, I started with Trails in the Sky.
Good.
And it was so fucking amazing. I absolutely loved it.
I'm so happy to hear this, man.
Yeah, Trails in the Sky 1 and 2. I beat 1 in 2 days. I just stayed up and had a 50-hour session between those 2 days.
That's so beautiful.
And then I went into Trails in the Sky 2, part 2, and it was amazing. And then I did Trails in the Sky the third, and I honestly, I loved the story between 1 and 2, but the gameplay in the third is so much better than 1 and 2. And I absolutely loved it. And then, thankfully, the time that I was done with all those, the new localization for Trails from Zero came out in the US. And I jumped right into that. It was amazing. Absolutely loved it. Unfortunately, there were so many games that came out in Japan and didn't get a proper Western release. So there was a few games between Trails from Zero and Trails of Cold Steel that I wasn't able to play, so I jumped from Zero to Cold Steel. And then I played Cold Steel 1 and Cold Steel 2, and then I started Cold Steel 3, but apparently there's a lot of stuff that happens between the Japanese-only release of Trails to Azure and Trails of Cold Steel 3. And Trails to Azure actually comes out mid-March this month. So I'm going to wait to play Cold Steel 3 until I get through Azure. Yeah, because there was just so many things. I was like, wait, why is this character here? Wait, what happened there?
Story actually matters. Unlike some other, it sounds like a new series. They have, Trails in the Sky to Trails of Zero and all those. And, usually with JRPGs, you can just, pick up from a different, story arc, and you're okay. But, yeah, not true for this one.
Yeah, no, I absolutely love the Trails series. I don't know if I'm in the minority here, but when I got to Trails of Cold Steel, it just felt different. I liked it. I liked Sky, the Sky trilogy, and Zero way better than I liked Cold Steel.
Cold Steel to me, it was super anime. And
Yeah.
Trails in the Sky just felt more down to earth and just a story, an adventure. They had that real classic kind of JRPG feel.
Yeah. How far have you gotten in the series? Are you like caught up or?
I got up to Sky 3, and I believe I stopped like midway into Sky 3. Not because I wasn't enjoying it, just because I got distracted by another game, probably.
Yeah.
But the story in 1 and 2 just like blew my mind, like completely blew my mind. It was awesome.
Oh no, I
I
absolutely
did
agree.
play Cold Steel, and so I forget when it was. I hopefully it was after Sky, but I think I stopped playing Cold Steel like enough partway through that it didn't even matter. I didn't see any story. It starts off in a dorm and you meet all your friends and stuff, and it's super anime, and I kind of just stopped before it got real.
No, I fully agree. Like Cold Steel 1 is definitely less anime than Cold Steel 2. I don't want to like give any
Yeah.
spoilers away if you haven't gotten there yet, but Cold Steel 2 just goes full on anime. Like there's
Okay.
yeah.
You
Um
mean like the JRPG like metaphysics thing where like you fight chaos as the final boss and shit like that? Like
not I mean there's that. I can't go into detail and it not be a spoiler.
alright,
Um,
sure.
yeah.
I'm super happy that you played those. Trails in the Sky is one of my favorite JRPGs by far. So
Oh no, it's absolutely one of my favorite new series.
nice.
Between SMT Shin Megami Tensei and not Cold Steel Trails, like it's so good. And I'm super excited to get back into the series with Azure in a few weeks.
Does that mean that you're gonna play through all of Cold Steel?
Yeah, so Cold Steel 2 apparently takes place at the same time in the timeline that Azure happens.
Okay,
Um,
that's
and
complicated.
then and then Cold Steel 3, like Azure lasts longer in the timeline than Cold Steel 2 does. So like Cold Steel 2 ends, but Azure is still going in the timeline, and then Cold Steel 3 takes up after Azure ends. So
This is too complicated.
it's absolutely super complicated. I would love to
But
have if you finish the series, I would love to have just an episode of us talking about Trails. Um,
I hope I do at some point. But that's a lot to get through, man. It's like reading all of Harry Potter or something. You got to give me a month.
The
absolutely.
the 2-hour podcast special, the Cable and Beef, talk about the Trail series and how amazing it is.
Dude, that kind of niche stuff is pretty successful on YouTube, I think, because you get people like us that have like played through the series. They have no one to talk with it about, and they just
Yeah.
go like YouTube it and like listen to someone else talk about it.
I can tell you, I definitely have tried to look up people talking about the Trails series on YouTube. There's like
Yeah.
a few people who do, and like I've been like starved for like where's my Trails content.
The first line of Cable's Tinder bio is looking for fellow Trails fans. Please talk to me about Trails.
Honestly,
We'll pay you money to talk with me about Trails.
I want to mention briefly a few other games that I've been playing, and then I will cut it. With my Steam Deck, I've gotten into a few other titles that I've like thought about trying out on different consoles, but I just never did. So really over like the winter Steam sale, I had quite a bit of just Steam wallet cash that I got for Christmas. So I just really went hard on trying out different stuff. Um, One game that I want to mention is the PS4, what was on the PS4 at first and then got ported to PC. The kind of zombie game Days Gone. I it was a zombie game. I wasn't super interested in it. But I've heard things about it, so I was like, why not? It's like $15. I'll try it. Yeah, I played it. It's actually really good. It's really fun, and actually takes the zombie story into a way that I've never seen, and it might have been done. I just don't know about it because there's a fuck ton of zombie like content. But it was really interesting.
What did they do differently? What was interesting about it?
Do either of you guys care about spoilers for a zombie game?
I care about spoilers for Days Gone because you talking about it in my Discord has made me want to play it.
Okay. I can't say too much.
It's story based.
Yeah, it was taken in a way that has not been done. It's kind of similar to The Walking Dead, like storyline wise, but it's done better. And I will leave it at that. What else have I been playing on the Steam Deck? I tried out Control, and that was pretty fun. It's very Lovecraftian vibes, and I'm super into Lovecraft. So I've been really into it. I played Skyrim for a little bit there. Played that again. You know, I've been back and forth on Skyrim for years now. And I also have just started playing Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild again, and I'm really enjoying it. I have made it probably halfway through the first Divine Beast, doing the one related to the Zoras, and that's
spoilers.
But yeah, I'm pretty excited for Tears of the Kingdom. So I wanted to play Breath of the Wild again.
Yeah, Tears of the Kingdom looks awesome. I'm also hoping to sneak a Breath of the Wild replay before it comes out, but I honestly don't think that I'm going to get it done.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to cut myself off there because I can keep going. So we should move on.
There's some cool suggestions. I'm really happy about the trails too.
Yeah, Cable definitely has like a wide palette going on in like the last month. What have you been playing lately, Beef?
Game, JRPG, Lovecraftian horror.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess like I should segue on the Zelda thing because I just wanted to say like I haven't played Breath of the Wild. I don't think I'm going to, which kind of sounds ridiculous. I know it's one of the best games ever, probably most people think, and I just want to play the second one. And I don't know if this sounds bad, but like I feel like the first one might kind of be a tech demo for the second one.
Honestly, I don't believe that's true. Like the first one is really good on its own, and I think the second one can just improve. But I mean, not trying to persuade you. I'm just saying if you want to give it the time, it's definitely worth it.
The time is the thing, because there are a lot of games to play. But I guess I'll start with this really interesting indie game my friends and I have been playing, because we're all into fighting games. It's called Your Only Move is Hustle, or Yomi Hustle, and it's a strategy fighting game. It just released on Steam for like $5 like a week ago or something. But it's like turn-based. You take turns and you pick your moves, and then whenever your fighter is actionable again, you can like pick a new move or like cancel your old one and fake him out or something like that. It's really interesting, and then at the end, you can replay the entire fight, which has been like super slow because it's all turn-based, right? And then it just plays it all through like a stick fight, and it looks really dope.
I missed it. What was the name of it?
Yomi Hustle. YOMI. That's been cool and just like a nerdy, fun game to play with friends. Obviously, I've been playing a crap ton of Smash 64 because that's the game I play competitively. I'm hosting a tourney this weekend that I got to shout out. It's called Kilroy 6 in my hometown of Bloomington, Indiana. But check out the stream if you want. Melee is going to have its own stream, and then I'll do a stream for 64, probably on my friend's channel, Tylo Ren, who is going to be streaming it. And Ultimate will also be there. Ultimate will have its own stream.
Cool.
So yeah, that's gonna be a good time. Always is. Uh, this is tough to say, but regrettably, I started playing the Octopath Gotcha game a while ago because I wanted a game to play on my phone. So I know people aren't fans of gotcha games, but I gotta be honest. I stopped playing it a little while ago because I hit a wall. It took me a long time, and I got a lot out of the game. I played it for like half a year or something like that.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I knew that Octopath had a gotcha.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
But to add on to that, like I think we've all maybe had a stint or two with a gotcha game. Like I used to be really big into Mario Kart Tour for like maybe like half a year or 3/4 of a year or something like that. Yeah, I don't think it's gotcha anymore. I think they changed it so it's no longer gotcha, but it was gotcha for I think the first 2 years, 2.5 years of it being out.
I don't know if this is considered gotcha, but I was really into Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links for a while.
That is considered
Yeah.
gotcha because like the cards are random. Basically anything where you pay real world money for something that is potentially random is gotcha.
Yep. I mean, card games are built for gotcha. It's right built into the system. Like, it's gotcha IRL, you know? It's just not virtual gotcha. Like, but so after I stopped playing Octopath, I picked up a new game, which is actually really cool that I'm proud to shout out, which is called Limbus Company. It's a really interesting RPG system where your moves start out with a base power. It's almost board gamey. Your move will have like base power 4, and then you have like 3 coins, and each coin is a turn, and it can like add +3 each turn if you land on heads or something like that. So it's an interesting combat system. It's refreshing. I've had a lot of fun playing it for just a few days actually. I needed something new after I quit Octopath. And interestingly, is by an indie company called Project Moon that their first game, I believe, if I learned right, was a mod of Darkest Dungeon, if any of you have played that.
I remember it. I've never played it, but I remember it.
Company too. So it's cool. I'm Korean, so I like that. They speak Korean. That's kind of neat. So I got to shout out Project Moon as a like indie dev. They got some really cool RPGs, and they're like already have a cult following a little bit, so that's neat. And then speaking of Darkest Dungeon, my friends and I have been getting together weekly, and we played that all the way to completion a little while ago. So that was really, really cool.
Oh, nice.
That is quite a feat because Darkest Dungeon was super fucking hard.
It was hard, but all of my friends play competitive Smash and love Dark Souls and this kind of shit, so we were super down for a Dark Souls, like the Dark Souls of RPGs, I guess.
It's bad that's actually like a good comparison.
It is, yeah. And we're also playing it as a group, so we can confer with each other and make decisions better, I think.
Oh yeah. No, and that definitely has a lot of like the Lovecraftian, like super dark gothic horror.
100% Lovecraftian, yeah. The aesthetic was really cool. I really enjoyed the game. The gameplay was really fun. I liked how it had no story, but even though it had no story, at one point in the game, something happened with the gameplay that was story-esque, you know? Like, it added lore to our characters. One character did a different thing to another character that was, like, really notable, and it kind of wrote its own story. I thought that was really, really cool.
I mean, Darkest Dungeon kind of takes the Dark Souls approach to story, which, you know, it leaves the story to, like, the background kind of, and like with items and all that. So there definitely is a story. You just have to really, you know, search it out.
That's true. Yeah. I think for the core storytelling, that is true. But my friend made a cool point that like Darkest Dungeon was praised for its, I think he called it instanced storytelling. Like the characters kind of took on a life of their own for us, and that was really awesome.
Yeah, no, I can definitely see that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it for like my list of notable games I've played recently. If you want to exclude SMT5 last year, which might have been my game of the year.
Really?
From what I played.
How about
just
you,
from what
Sam?
I played?
For me, Well, since I went on hiatus, like I literally have my Steam library pulled up here with like all my like latest played games, just so I can be accurate. But like I've also been playing just some Switch games with my roommates, like Mario Kart, obviously, because that's like a fun game to play with roommates. One of my roommates, we were kind of like I was guiding him through Resi 7, and it was his first Resident Evil game, and he was a big fan of that. He wants to play 8 really soon. I've had my Oculus for I think 8-9 months now. Like I think I got mine in May of last year. And I used to play Beat Saber weekly, and then I didn't really touch it for a bit. But lately, just because like a lot of hype is ramping up for Resident Evil 4 remake, I've been playing the Resident Evil 4 Oculus port, and I think I'm about, I want to say like maybe 35-40% through the main campaign.
Do you know what chapter you're on?
Like
2 or something like that?
I'm the first chapter of the castle, but I think I'm towards the end of the first chapter of the castle, or the first level of the castle, or whatever. But nonetheless,
I think that's pretty close to like chapter like 3, probably like 3.1 or 3.2.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm too lazy to check right now. Yeah, beyond that,
VR.
sorry?
You have to turn on your VR. That sounds like a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I did play Resident Evil 4, I think, a year and a half ago on PC, and I really didn't like the control scheme. It felt very clunky. In the base game, I think it really is kind of like made for either Wii or VR, with like the Wii pointer, or even just like holding the gun yourself in VR. Like the VR port feels so natural. Like it almost feels like it was designed for VR, even though obviously it wasn't.
That's interesting. Like VR fixed the controls.
Yeah, and I like that they made a lot of things that like compatible with VR. Like you turn cranks yourself instead of just hitting an interact button. You turn keys yourself in doorways. Like it feels like, yeah, it feels really nice. That
sounds like the best version of the game. Holy cow!
Yeah, it's so freaking good. Beyond that, in like middle of December, I was on Twitter and I saw a render of the Doom guy in Fortnite, and my first thought immediately was, oh my god, whoever did this render is so talented. Like, could you imagine if they put Doom in Fortnite? Anyways, they did. So I was like, I fucking love Doom. I'll play a little bit. I'll buy the battle pass just so I have the Doom guy skin if I want to play later with buddies. You know, I can do that. Fast forward to today, I am completely done the battle pass and all the bonus skins and everything. And this season was actually really fun. I haven't played Fortnite in about 3 years almost, and I didn't love it back then. I really didn't like it, but this new season makes it feel really, really nice. I'm going to cover a lot of these in more detail in a upcoming video essay that I'm going to be posting within a week from this going up. Yeah, so keep your eyes posted for that while I plug myself. The only other thing I think of note that I tried out was Among Us VR. And let me tell you, so my review summed up for Among Us VR, I don't think I've hated screaming children so much.
Oh.
Yeah.
I heard it was really good. But you can hear everyone?
It is really good, but yeah, you can. Don't get me wrong, you can mute people, but it was a little glitchy at first. Crashes were very common. Like, I would get kicked out of at least 50% of all the games I played. And it's like, you're literally playing with people as young as 6. I think that was the youngest I had in a game was 6. And I was like, what the hell? Like, there's literally people like there, and there was no filter. I think they've kind of fixed this now. But like, you know, you have people who are just talking very crassly, and saying like really awful shit. Like, don't get me wrong, like they're saying really bad stuff.
Kids, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And like at the beginning, like they were like, yeah, we're implementing in-game reporting, but for the time being, just report them on Steam. Yeah. But it's like, that's such a hassle.
It doesn't work, man. It doesn't work because they're kids. What are you gonna do? Report the kids and then like
like report the people that are saying like awful stuff, like I mean like awful stuff. Like you would report them even if the kids weren't there. You know what I mean?
I feel like if that kid is like 13 years old, it's not gonna work. But whatever.
Yeah, like I also feel like there needs to be like some sort of like age gate, but then again, that's kind of for the ESRB to deal with. But I think now they're kind of yeah, or even like a server browser, just so like people can say like, hey, please only come in the game if you're 18 or older. Because you know, having a 6-year-old scream into their mic for the whole game is hellacious. I'm looking forward to more VR stuff coming out this year, but we'll save for what we're looking forward to either in the next podcast or maybe the one after, depending on if there's an event for the next podcast that we want to center it around, like a state of play or something. But I think probably we'll talk about it next podcast in terms of what we're looking forward to. Yeah, is there anything else that you guys wanted to share before we close this up?
You go first, Cable.
Let me say a few parting words of wisdom here. Get a Steam Deck. Play the Trails series if you're into JRPGs. Very nice. And also, Resident Evil 4 remake comes out end of March. Definitely get that. It's a good game. Yeah, it looks amazing. I know Jam has been trying to not look at stuff, but I've looked at everything, and it looks really good. If you have anything, Beef, go for it.
Okay, I mean, it's cool as hell to be invited here. It's a lot of fun. Gonna shout out the tournament again if anyone wants to check it out. It'll be Kilroy 6. And also, there's some hope for Metroid Prime fans because Remastered came out, and I'm excited for that. That's all. That's
true. I'm hoping to play Remastered soon as well, but I gotta get Persona 4 off of my plate for the time being. By the way, I don't know. Did I mention I was playing that? I've been playing that for the last few days. That's my one little add-on. Yeah, I've been.
It's a really cool game.
It's honestly like I didn't like it, but whenever I came back like this last week or two to play it, I've had so much fun. Anyways, guys, we're gonna close up here. Thank you so much for watching the podcast. Keep your eyes out for more episodes coming soon. In case I don't think I mentioned at the start, Jupiter Dog couldn't make it in today. That's why he's not here. Hopefully we'll see him back next time. And yeah, thank you guys so much for listening in. We'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.
Hail Lord LeChonk.